hey, tonight we're making pepper steak. Now, this is a recipe that I used to make. Oh my gosh, put it this way. I was looking through my recipe program on the desktop that I've used since the early 90s. The oldest cookbook that I have saved and dated is 2005. And every year when I would get a new program or update my recipes, get new recipes, I would make a new cookbook and then I'd print it out. I've printed and made cookbooks over the years so many times it's not even funny, of my own stuff. So a couple weeks ago I was looking through there and I ran across this pepper steak. I'm like, how did I forget about you of all these years? I mean, from the 2005 cookbook, that tells you how long it's been since I have made this recipe. I forgot how good it is. It's so simple and so easy. And I thought, well, it's been a long time since I made it. I hope I don't mess it up since I'm filming it. And hey, I think it turned out pretty good. So that's why I wanted to share it with you. So let's turn around and get started on my super simple pepper steak. For the pepper steak, what I want to do first is get my pan hot. For a change, it's not screaming hot. Add just a little bit of oil, and I like avocado. Now this is, the recipe calls for stir-fry meat. You'll see this as I put it in. This is the little thin shaved, almost shaved steaks that I got at Costco. I don't know what kind of beef it is, but they marinated overnight. See how thin they are? If it's stir-fry meat or if it's steak, if you use whatever you want it to be sliced thin. Okay, now that this has started to quieten down, it was marinated overnight in a 1/4 cup of low-sodium soy sauce, teaspoon of minced ginger, which I use in the tube, and a teaspoon of minced garlic, which I use in the tube. And I just let that marinate overnight. Now we're just going to cook this until it's almost done. I guess what you could call what I'm using tonight, like little minute steaks. You see how quickly, well, you can see, but they cook that very, very quickly. What we're going to add to that is 2 green onions. They were just kind of small. And then 1 bunch of green onions that I cut them kind of big. I want to cook all that with, hold on, I got some little escapees. This was 3/4 cup of water. I took out 2 tablespoons to mix with our cornstarch. We're going to use that at the end. So for right now, we want to add in the rest of the water. And we're just going to cook this until the peppers and onions are tender. The liquid had almost all boiled out while I was waiting on these peppers to get soft. So I added just a little more water in there because we need something to thicken. So to make sure that it's all back up to the boil. And then we're going to add our 2 tablespoons of water that we saved out. And I put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in with it. And we're just going to stir this around and cook it till it's thickened, which we might need a little more water. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, that kind of thickened on me right there in the middle. Hang on, let me get a little more water. You want a little bit of sauce with it. So that's all you have to do. If it gets too thick on you, just add water until it's the consistency you like. There's no exact science here. Now what I'm going to add next are some tomatoes. You need like 2 medium. I have these 2 kind of smallish. Let me move that off the burner. Roma tomatoes. And I'm just going to add that little extra one with it. I'm going to cut it in wedges. I'll show you how I cut it in a minute. And the tomatoes, I'm just going to cut in little wedges. You can see the size of the tomatoes. And we're only going to cook those until they are heated through. We are not going to cook the tomatoes. We're just going to heat them through. And that is all there is. Oh, you're getting a bunch of steam. That is all there is to my simple, easy pepper steak.